What's going on, guys? Today is all about RJ here, and unfortunately it's time to say goodbye to RJ. As you can see, it's in pretty rough shape. So today our objective is to get this thing cleaned out. Vince did have some new parts for it in here. He had some racing buckets and some harnesses. Anything usable we're going to get out of here. The motor and trans is coming out. We're just going a totally different direction on this, and we're gonna haul this thing off to the scrapyard because that's pretty much what it is at this point. Steve robbed the axles out of it. These we thought might bolt back in, and they definitely do not, but that's okay. Once we decided to swap axles, or Steve pulled axles out for his project, we knew this was done anyway. It was already slated for the scrapyard. We come around, it's got the 2-scoop fiberglass hood, a little bit rough shape. It's pretty dry, but that's definitely someone can use that and restore it and put that on their vintage van. But not this one. This one's going to the scrapyard. So our first step today is, like I said, get everything out of this. Anything that's any good, we're pulling out, and just get this thing cleaned out and ready to go. Inside the creeper van here, we're inside tearing off. I figured out how to get this wing off. There's appears to be 3 bolts per side. They're a little bit difficult to get to, but we're in here, and I hear someone out there making some noise with a motorcycle. And I guess he just parked it in the shade. Let's see who it is. And this is the guy making all the noise with his motorcycle he just picked up. It's a nice bike.
Definitely pretty nice. It's in really good shape, actually.
It is. Yeah. How was the ride?
Terrible. The last 4 bikes I've had were Harleys. They're a lot more comfortable when you ride for an hour.
Right.
Yeah. I stopped twice.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Just to get off?
My wrists are on fire.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
It's bad.
You might need to work out a little bit.
Something.
All right, we're here. Steve's here. Let's get this piece of junk cleaned out and get it out of here.
Easy. RJ is not a piece of junk.
RJ is a piece of junk.
No,
there's no question about that. He has definitely lived on, but this part of him
airborne. Not only in this setup, but in my setup also. RJ's axles have been airborne.
Yeah, several times, but
definitely.
It's time to get rid of this and make something really cool, and we'll give you a sneak peek here real quick. All right, let's just show you the shape this van is in and why we are deciding to junk it. Number one, I mean, this is all just sheet metal. Oh, definitely. Didn't even have to rip it off.
I wish I would have got that on video. Damn it.
I mean, I barely moved that, and it just literally fell off. So there's one reason. As I open the back door to start cleaning this, keep an eye on the corner of this truck here. Just moving the door makes it move, but you flop it open, yeah.
Look at that whole thing just shake, rattle, and roll.
As this thing's driving, you can actually watch the sides of the van wave to you like this.
Definitely. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the most sketchy things I've ever driven. As fun as it was, and I did enjoy driving it, it was super sketchy.
Yeah. And then of course, I think we showed this before. It's actually hard to even see now. Let's get the door out of our way.
The door works.
The frame rail has a giant rust hole in it, like gone rust. They actually put a fiberglass patch over it. There's another patch here, which this is also, I'm sure I could put my fingers right through that. Yeah. So the frame and the body is just totally shot on this thing. So
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
So that's why I think Vince is making the correct decision here.
For 10% off, use promo code.
Don't pay attention to him. So we got ripping and tearing here. As you can see, we have a pile of parts over here. We have the visor, we have the spoiler, we have the hood, and we have the antenna. So you have your Mr. T van starter kit here. and it's for sale.
The side skirts.
Yeah,
Do we
well,
have any good side skirts?
no, they're all
Not even this one here.
definitely not now.
No. Now I
So-
see why you had so much fun last time. That was kind of fun.
We
got
have
one.
we
can
have
give you
one. That is actually a urethane one,
Yeah,
and the rest of them,
are fiberglass.
yeah. So, but you can buy them; they're cheap.
Definitely.
So, I think we're about done here. We're gonna pull a couple more things off on the underneath. The junkyard is actually gonna pick this up, remove the engine and trans, and give that back to us. It'll be a lot easier for them to do it because this thing's pretty much immobile at this point for us.
Absolutely.
But it's a sad sight now. No hood, no visor. It's stripped bare.
You want the sunroof?
No. Do you?
Kind of.
Really?
What the hell am I gonna put it in? Let's put it in the 53.
No. We'll
No?
we'll look at it and see how hard it is to take out. But
That's a yes. See, that's what I like about Danny. He
I-
says no, and then he thinks about it. And is like, that would actually be.
I don't think the roof's actually big enough to hold that. But we'll look.
Stop! I'll pop it out right now.
So it looks like Fred is possibly getting a sunroof. He couldn't resist.
I mean, how can you go wrong with a sunroof? Especially
They
since we have everything.
they leak.
Stop
They're
it.
ugly. They
They're
let sun
airflow
in.
for a truck that's not gonna have AC.
No AC?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Possibly. It depends on how much we want to get in.
See if
Yeah.
Vintage Air sponsors him.
Yeah, there you go. Vintage Air, if you're out there and you're watching this, I would love to put air conditioning on the 53. 6.0 power stroke conversion, please.
All right, guys, just so we're clear here, we got the sunroof off the van inside the air conditioning garage, and it's still 119 degrees.
Yeah. A little warm out.
Yeah.
A little warm out.
With the sunroof being off and inside and the air conditioning still being 118, 119, let's see what inside of this van is. Change it to Fahrenheit. 142 on the inside of the roof. That's crazy. 143. Yeah, it's warm out here to say the least. That's why we're not really going to tackle this motor. They have the equipment to do it. They can lift this thing up with the tractor and the forks, zip a couple bolts out, and drop this whole thing right out of the bottom. Right now it's just difficult for us to move around because it is still heavy, even though it's so rusty. Let's get back in the air conditioning.
Hi-ho.
Now we have RJ.
It's off to work, I go.
You don't work. Now we have RJ waiting arrival or rollback to pick it up and take it to the scrapyard. We did get to work on this and got pretty far. We got the whole dash out. Let me jump over on the other side here.
I'm chugging vodka.
There is a whole mess of wiring we just pulled out. Steve just shoved under the van. Keep it safe so we don't step on it. We got the fender peeled back. We
Your
did
butt plug here.
get the
Your butt plug here for everybody. Or for you.
really.
No?
We did get the computer pulled back, and again the wiring fished through the firewall. So now we need to tackle getting the rest of the stuff unhooked off the cab and getting this cab up off so we can then tackle getting this motor and trans up out of the frame. So making good headway. We still have a little ways to go though.
Yep. Yep.
KnifeDeals.com.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a dilemma here.
Be
All I did
careful,
was
guys.
Flip it open, and the tip caught my finger.
Unbelievable.
But for 10% off, use promo code SENDITSTEVE, all one word.
All right, guys, it's time to say goodbye to the old GMC Sonoma. When we bought off Send It Steve, we are selling it. As you can see, Steve's back there in the Extreme. He's following us to drop it off. So long. You treated us well. Time to move on. All right, guys, rollbacks here. It's the final minutes of the van. There it goes. It's final resting place. All right, and the junkyard already got the heart and soul out of RJ. So we have the 400 small block, the Turbo 350, and the transfer case already back in our possession. We just went and picked it up. We'll get this thing, I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do with it yet, but it probably needs to be just torn down and cleaned up, regasketed. Unfortunately, when we were loading RJ up, it did pop a hole in the oil pan, so I do have another oil pan, so it's not a big deal. It needed to come off to get resealed anyway. While we have the motor apart, we're probably going to end up doing a cam, but at this point I really don't know exactly how deep we're going to go into it. But either way, we have it back in our possession, and it's ready to go.